Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. After our adventure in Creole Manor last week, we're back to another All or Nothing game, which is another brand new game debut on the channel, as we are playing Veilwraith, also by All or Nothing Productions. This one has us as a Veilwraith around the end of the world, trying to complete a series of vignettes. And the way we do that is we have to find 5 keys that are going to be in the threat deck up here. Then we have to place the portal and defeat the foe in the vignette. So we're going to have to spend a lot of time here. Gameplay from the looks of it is going to be very similar to Creole Manor, which we did last week. We are starting off with 20 threat, and we've got our 5, what are these? I think these are veils. Those are ribbons. So each time we lose a game, we lose one of them, and our connection to the Vanna weakens. Which I guess is the realm in this game. So we've got our 3 basic actions. We've got Explore, Fight, and Influence. So presumably the threats are also going to deal that same damage. And it looks like we'll have the same action selection mechanic that we've seen before on the channel several times. So, and the way we lose the game, I think there are a couple ways we lose. If we run out of spirit or encounter the Archfiend, which we will encounter that. So basically we're going to shuffle the Archfiend in. Let's flip on the big light. So we'll shuffle this in when we have to reshuffle the threat deck, and when he comes up, we lose. So let's jump into this one. We will start off by drawing a threat. Our first threat is a pariah, which will deal us 1 spirit damage, and we need 4 influence to defeat it. Outcast, when he's defeated, we'll place it in our discard pile, and when we draw it, we discard the card. He'll deal us 1 spirit damage. We'll draw a memory. We've got Memory of Blood. So we'll play that next to... So when we play memories, we will play that next to the fight action. Right? Yes. So play memories. You played it anytime, yada yada yada. Then place it face up in the play area. Should be placed next to that action. Okay. So we are going to use... Actually, I'm going to get some dice as well for... I'm going to get some other dice so I can track the amount of damage that's been done. I'm going to grab some green dice for that, and I've got black dice over here for the power level on each of our different actions. Okay. So we're going to start off by using our influence, which is currently at a power level of 3, to deal 3 influence damage to the pariah. Everything else will move down. Then I'm going to tilt the fight action so I can put a spirit, so I can put a power on that. Then I actually will play the Memory of Blood, which will give me an extra 2 fight, so I'll put that next to fight. And then that will do it for our turn. So now we go into the spirit, which will deal us 1 spirit damage. The pariah will. That'll bring us down to 19. So, with that being said, now we're going to reset everything. And we'll go into a new threat phase. So our next threat coming out is a healer, taking 5 spirit damage. Cure, when we play it, gain 1 spirit. We lose a spirit when she does damage, but we gain a spirit when we defeat her. So, and that takes 5 influence to get past. I'll draw another memory of knowledge to swap the position of any 2 actions. So, what to do? I think I will go ahead and swap. I'll use the Memory of Knowledge so I can swap the positions of... What do I want to swap here? Actually, I don't need to swap yet, because I'm going to use my 1 influence to defeat the pariah. So that'll go into my discard pile. And then influence will stay at 1. Then I'm going to go ahead and strengthen explore. Okay, so that'll do it for our... Actually... Actually, now I might want to use Memory of Knowledge. So I'll use that to swap influence and fight. That way I can potentially start stacking power on influence to get past the healer, since that's another influence memory or another influence threat. Plus, right now, Memory of Blood has a strength of 4 due to having 1 tilt on it. It's at a power level of 1, but I'm more looking at the 2 strength on the Memory of Blood that we played next to fight. Alright, so the healer will deal us another spirit damage, bringing us down to 18. Then we'll reset everything, and that'll send us into another threat phase. We've got another Enforcer. So when it's played, we remove a power from our fight action, which is unfortunate, but there's no help for that. Needs 3 spirit to defeat, and does 1 on damage. So I think here we are going to use our influence to get rid of him. Oh, we also draw a memory. We've got a Memory of Honor. So yeah, I'm going to use the influence action to defeat the Enforcer. And we'll move everything else down. I think we use the Explore is greater to or equal of the target threat. Okay. So I'm going to move that. I'm going to adjust the cord out of shot. Then I'm actually going to play Memory of Honor next to Influence so I can start strengthening that. Then I'm going to put the power die back on my fight action. The dice don't come with the game. I'm just using them. I'm just figuring it's a lot easier to use dice than it is to try to start stacking up a bunch of power tokens on the different actions. I figure the dice will be a lot easier to manage with that. So the healer will deal us another spirit damage, bringing us down to 17. And then we'll move into a new turn. New threat coming out is another fighter. And this one is removing a power from the influence action, which right now we don't have, so joke's on him, haha. Let's see, our memory is a Memory of Creation, which would give us a spirit back. And we can actually combine memories. That is a thing we can do, so I need to be aware of that, to add power equal to the lowest combined number card to an action being used. Okay. So I think I will sit on that for the time being. Then I'm going to... Let's see, that right now is 2, 3, 4, 5. So actually I will use fight. I will use a fight action using all 5 of my power to take out the fighter. Then I'll tilt the Memory of Honor to put a power on influence. And that'll bring us out of the phase. The healer will deal us another 1 damage, bringing us down to 16. Actually, we should have gained a spirit when we played her, so we'll just leave it at 17. Then we'll reset everything. Okay, looks like that was Adobe Creative Cloud. I'm not too worried about that right now. So we'll reset everything. Then we'll draw a new threat. We've got the Key of Light, which needs 8 threat. Turn, use 1 additional available action. Flip to draw a memory. The memory we'll draw is a Memory of Home, which I will use that to strengthen my Explore. So I need 8 Explore to get past the Key of Light. Right now I have 3, 4, 5. I'll use the influence action here to, actually, it's at 2, 3. So actually 2, 3, 4 right now. So I will use the influence action to bring the healer down to 1 influence. Then I'll tilt the explorer to start working on getting enough explore up to deal with that key of light. Then I'm going to sit tight on the memory of creation. The healer will deal us another spirit, bringing us down to 16. And now we're getting ready for a new threat phase. So our new threat is another healer. That only takes 4 influence. And our memory is a memory of honor, which I will... I think we can stack Explorer on that, can't we? This will push the other 2 actions up. Defeat a threat with... Okay, so it looks like... It's greater that threat is defeated. I think I'm going to tilt the fight action, but I'm going to use it to draw a memory. Actually, I should have drawn a memory for turn, which will be a memory of knowledge that I can swap the position of any 2 actions. So I will use the fight action to swap memories again, or to draw a memory. So that's memory of blood. Then I'm going to tilt, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to tilt my Explorer to get another die on that. Then I'm going to play Memory of Honor to stack on Influence. Then we're going to lose another 2 Spirit from the 2 healers being out. Actually, this one came out, so we're only going to net losing 1. And that's it for the turn. So now we're drawing a new threat. We've got a goblin. Coward, when we defeat it, remove it from the game, takes 4 fight. Deals 2 spirits, so we definitely want to take him out as fast as we can. Ignore spirit cost, -1 threat this round on the memory of cold. So, well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use Memory of Blood to bring that up to play that next to my fight action. Then, let's see, that's at 7 right now. Let's actually go ahead and... Let's see, combine 2 memories shown on either card to an action being used. Okay, so I'm going to discard the Memory of Creation and the Memory of Cold to add 1 spirit, to add 1, what's the word I want, power to the Explore action I'm going to take. So 3, 6, 7, 8, because I combined that, will defeat the Key of Light. And then the Key of Light comes to my... play area, I believe. Yeah. Okay, so we'll put that up there. And then we'll move everything else up. Then we'll tilt the... Actually, we'll tilt... We don't need to tilt that, so we'll tilt Influence to stack another damage... To stack another power up on that one. Then we're going to deal... Then we're going to take 4 threat from the... Or take 4 spirit from the remaining threats. That brings us down to 12 threat, which is not exactly where I want to be here. And then we're drawing everything back up. So our next threat is the fighter again. So we're removing another power from the influence action, which is unfortunate. Then our next memory is to ignore a spirit cost -1 threat this round. So... yikes. I'm going to use the memory of blood, which will give me a total power. I'll use fight, which memory of blood plus the power level of 2 is 4. That'll defeat the fighter. Actually, no. That'll defeat the goblin. That's the one I should get rid of. Then I will tilt... Actually, I'm going to tilt Explore, because I know we need 4 more keys, but we are not in a good spot right now. We're taking another 3 spirit damage this round. So, yeah. Actually, we can use that to ignore spirit cost -1 threat this round. So, excuse me. Let's do that. I'll ignore 1 of these and take 2 threat. Or take 2 spirit damage. And we'll ready everything. We'll draw a new threat. We've got another healer. Another healer that needs 5 influence. So we're not in a great spot here. We've got a memory of creation coming out as well. Well, let's see, 3, 4. So we'll actually use the memory of honor to get rid of this healer. That'll heal me for a spirit. Then we'll move all of that down. I'll tilt the fight to put another power on there. And then we're taking another 3 spirit. So we're not in a good spot right now. So we're down to 9 right now. Our new threat is the Key of Love. We need 4 Explore. We can turn to use one additional available action, add a power token to an influence action. Then we'll draw a Memory of Heart, which lets me use an additional available action. We'll start off by using the Explore for a power of 4. That'll defeat the Key of Love. So now we've got 2 of the 5 keys that we need. Then I'll use the Memory of Heart to use an additional available action, which will be the fight to get rid of the fighter. Because that was at a strength of 4. Unfortunately, we are taking 2 threat. Actually, I'm going to use the Memory of Creation to heal 1. And then we'll ultimately net taking 1 threat because of the 2 healers. Then we're drawing a new threat. We've got a Pariah. 3 influence, loses 1 spirit. Outcast, defeat, place in your discard pile. When we draw it, discard this card. We've got a Memory of Heart coming out. Use 1 additional available action. We'll start off by using influence to defeat the Pariah. Then I'll tilt fight to get a die on there. Unfortunately, we are taking another 2 spirit damage down to 6. And we're resetting and drawing back up. New threat is another goblin, which is unfortunate because right now our fight is on 3. Now we've got a Memory of Might, though, which I can play next to fight and get rid of the goblins straight away. Which I think will ultimately be what I end up doing. So we'll go with the Memory of Might on Fight. Then I'll use Influence to get rid of this healer. Then I'll use the Memory of Heart to use one additional available action, which will be the Fight action. 2, 3, and 4 for the Memory of Might. That'll get rid of the goblin straight away. And then we're taking another 1 spirit from the healer, bringing me down to 5. This is not going well, in case you couldn't tell that. New threat is the Key of Sight. We need 6 Explore. Okay. And then our new memory is Memory of Redemption, giving me another 2 Influence. Well, I'm going to start tilting. I'm going to tilt Explore to give me a level on that. Then I'm going to use Memory of Knowledge so I can swap the position of 2 actions. I'll swap Influence and Explore. Then I'll play Memory of Redemption next to Influence. Then I'll use Influence to get rid of the other healer, which will give me a spirit back. So now we're not just about to bite the big one. We're kind of okay-ish, assuming we don't get another enemy coming out. So I can start working on stacking up power on Explore. Our next action is the Mystic. Played, reveal threats until you reveal a key. Put it into play, shuffle and replace the rest back into the deck. So we need another key. Goblin, Enforcer, Hobgoblin, Pariah, Hobgoblin, Hobgoblin, Mystic, Pariah, Key of Power. Shuffle and replace the rest back on the threat deck. Alright, that's a 4 Influence Mystic, dealing 2 Spirit. So Key of Power lets us use an additional available action when we turn it, and flip it to add 1 power token to a fight action. The problem is, that's a second Explorer we need, and we would need an Explorer of 5. To get past that, we need 6 as it is to get past the Key of Sight. That Mystic is also going to be a problem because we need to get past the... Because that's 2 Spirit, that's going to kill us real quick. We've got a Memory of Might, which is not going to help me here. So I'll start off by using Fight to draw another memory. That's a Memory of Veil, which is far from nothing right now. So I'm going to play that on Explore. I'm going to play Memory of Veil on Explore. Then I'm going to tilt Influence to start stacking a power on that. Excuse me. Oh boy, this could be problematic. So I think we are going to have to flip the Key of Love. I am going to be taking 2 Spirit from... So I'm going to flip the Key of Love to put another power token on the Influence action. So we're definitely in a bad way here. The Mystic will deal another 2 Spirit damage, bringing me down to 4. And we're drawing up. So we've got another threat coming up. We've got the Pariah. Oh, great. That's gonna defeat us this turn, unless we're gonna be defeated this turn unless we can get rid of either the Mystic or the Pariah. We've got a Memory of Home. I think I'm going to have to use Influence here to defeat the Mystic. So I'll get rid of the Mystic at least. Then I'm going to turn Key of Light so I can use... Am I going to turn Key of Light? Let's see, right now that's on 6. That would let me use an additional action. So... the unfortunate problem here is I need to get past this pariah. And since I used influence to get by the mystic... What to do? Yeah, I'm going to have to turn Key of Light here so I can use an additional action, which will be to use the Explore 3, 4, 6. That'll get me past the Key of Sight. So I've defeated 3 of 5 keys, but I'm not willing to bet I'm going to make it that far. We'll tilt Fight to get a power token on that. Then I'll play the Memory of Home on the... I'll play Memory of Home on my Explore action. Then I'm taking another 2 Spirit from the Pariah. So I'm down to 2. And we're drawing. And if this is an enemy that does any kind of damage, we're probably dead. That's the the Hobgoblin we might be able to survive. So we shuffle our discard pile into the deck. So I'll deal with that. So the question now is, can we survive this? I don't like my odds of surviving, but we'll find out. Alright, so now we're drawing. So now we've got a Memory of Heart that can use an additional available action. We might actually survive this. I'm probably getting a little ahead of myself there. So we'll start off by using a Fight to get rid of the Hobgoblin. Then I'll use the Memory of Heart. That'll let me influence the Pariah away. That goes in my discard pile. Then I'll tilt Explore to start adding power to that. We're not just dead yet, but we're not in very good shape either. Riches, defeated keys give spirit boost +1. So I've got 3 defeated keys, which means I should have 3 more health. So I'm at 5. I'm not just dead, but I'm also not in real good shape either. Okay, I'm going to play Memory of Might next to Fight as well. Then we're drawing back up. We've got another Hobgoblin, which shuffles my discard pile back in. Actually, which one did we use for that? We used the turn on that. Which is only a once per game effect. All right, and then the new memory we're drawing is Memory of Home. So I actually will 3, 4, 5. I will use Explore to defeat the Key of Power, which will give me an available action and a power token. On a flip, add a power token to a fight action. I think we will turn Key of Light to use an additional available action, which I'll use the fight action to defeat the Hobgoblin. Then I'll start stacking Influence. I'll play Memory of Home next to Explore. And for now, our threat area is actually clear. So I think we can draw up. I think we'll reset everything and we'll draw up. Those don't reset, these do. So I'm still looking for one more key and our foe, which is the Goblin King. That's another Hobgoblin, which shuffles my discard pile again. All right, hopefully I can draw something with Fight to deal with that Hobgoblin. Although I'm not in a burning, scorching hot hurry right now. Let's see what we draw for a memory. We've got a Memory of Veil. Let's go ahead and we'll use Influence to draw a memory. Mostly so I can cycle Fight up to a stronger position. If we use it to draw a memory, does that... Okay, so yeah, we don't have to discard that. I'll move everything up there. Let's go ahead and we'll turn Key of Sight. So I can use an additional available action. I'll use Fight to get rid of the Hobgoblin. Then I'll tilt Explore to keep stack up power on that, because we are eventually going to need one more key. I'll play Memory of Veil as well, so I can defeat the key when it comes out in one shot. Because right now I'll have 6-7 power total on Explore. Those don't reset, and our next threat is the Goblin. And our next memory is Memory of Creation. Well, he's going to kill us right quick too. So let's go ahead and use Influence to draw a memory. There's a Memory of Might. That'll work very well. Then we will tilt Fight. Play the Memory of Might there. And then the Goblin's going to hit us for another 2 Spirit, down to 3. Oop, those don't turn. Those don't reset. And we're drawing another threat. There's the Enforcer. That is a very bad time for that to come up. Remove a power token from my Fight action. And we've got the Memory of Knowledge. I think we will... We'll use Fight to take out... Actually, no, let's do it this way. We'll use Memory of Knowledge that I can use to swap the positions of any 2 actions. I'm going to swap Explore and Fight. This way I can use Fight at a power of 4 to take out the Goblin. I can survive taking 1 Spirit a few times, but I am going to have to stack up ways to deal with that quickly. Then we'll tilt Explore to get another power token on that. Then we'll take another... Actually, we'll use Memory of Creation to essentially negate the Enforcer's 1 Spirit damage. We'd go up to 4, then down to 3, then back to 3 when we take damage from him. So that's how we'll do that. We'll draw a new threat. Pariah. That's a 2 influence. Does 2 spirit damage. And we've got a Memory of Cold. Ignore a spirit cost, -1 threat this round. Okay, that's actually not that big a problem. So we'll use the influence. We don't need the power token to get rid of the Pariah. That goes in my deck. I didn't need the power token. I'll play the Memory of Honor next to it. And then I'll use the Memory of Cold to ignore the Enforcer this round, so we don't take any damage in the Spirit phase. Drawing a new threat. We've got the Mystic again, so now we get our last key. But we're taking two threat. There's the Goblin King that we also need to defeat. Fighter, Key of Valor. Alright, that one flips to gain a Spirit. We need 7 Exploration to take that out, though. But we also need... So right now we have a total of... Let's see, 3, 6, 7, 8 threat, 8 Explore power. But we also need to be aware of getting the... We also need to be aware that we need to defeat the Goblin King, and soon. So I think with that in mind, we'll draw our memory. It's a memory of creation. So we'll start off by using Explore. 3 for the power, 4, 5, 6, 7. That will defeat the Key of Valor. Okay, then I will use the Key of Power to use an additional available action, which will be to... Let's see, right now that's 2, 3 on Influence. I think we will influence the... We'll use Influence to get rid of the Mystic. So actually we don't need the... We'll just use the Memory of Honor. That'll defeat the Mystic. So they're both used. And I'll tilt Fight, since I'm sure I'm going to need more Fight for that. Then I'll use the Memory of Creation to essentially negate the Enforcer again. Once again, I would go up to 4 and then down to 3. So that's how that all works out. Then we reset everything and we're drawing. There's the Mystic again. Unfortunately, we have all 5 keys and that's a 2 threat. So we need to kill... So we probably need to kill... Well, let's see what we get here. We've got a Memory of Redemption. So, I think here... Well, we're definitely going to need... Well, we're going to use the Key of Valor for... Well, are we going to use Key of Valor for an additional action? We're going to have to. So we'll turn that for an additional action. We'll play the Memory of Redemption on Influence. Then I'm going to use Fight to get rid of the Enforcer. So I've got an additional action this turn from turning the Key of Valor. Which I will use Influence to defeat the Mystic. Okay, so I'm not just about to bite it here, which is something. Then I'll tilt Explore, because I'm going to need to defeat the Goblin King when that comes out. Also, we should have another Spirit from the Key of Valor, so we're up to 4. Then we're resetting all of this, and we're drawing a new threat. There's the Fighter, which will remove a power token from the Influence, except we don't have one there. We need 4 Fight. That's a Memory of Redemption. Alright, so we're going to flip the Key of Power to get +1 on a Fight action, which I will then use to defeat the Fighter. And then I'll play Memory of Redemption on the next to Influence, so that'll give me +2 Influence strength. Then I'm going to flip the Key of Valor to give me another +1 Spirit, bringing me up to 5. We'll flip the Key of Light to draw a memory. There's Pariah, which is not what I wanted to see. We'll discard him. So the Pariah is basically a dead card right now. Not the thing I want to be seeing. We'll tilt Explore. And we'll reset everything, and we're drawing. There's the Goblin King, so I can either use 6 Influence or 6 Combat. Right? Multiple threat. If there are multiple threat values, all of them have to be defeated using separate actions. Oh, joy. Alright, so now I've got to draw a memory, which is a memory of home. Not what I want to see right now. So I'm going to need 2 dice. I'm going to need 2 different colors of dice for that. Oh, joy. Okay, so I think I'm going to use Explore to draw a memory. So I've got a memory of blood. So basically what I'm running into here is I've got to defeat him, and I've got to defeat that in 2 actions. I've got influence up to 5 now, so I'll flip the Key of Love. Actually, yes, I'm going to do it that way. So I'll tilt Fight to get +1, to get a +1 power on that. I'll play the Memory of Blood next to Fight. Then I'm going to flip the Key of Love to get a power token on the Memory of Redemption. Unfortunately, I am taking 2 damage from the Goblin King, and then that will reset everything, and we'll draw back up. We've got a Mystic. Uh-oh. So, yeah, if we don't get rid of that, I don't think we can get rid of the Goblin King this turn. Memory of Blood. That is unfortunate, because the problem is I can't defeat both of them. I think that Mystic coming out now really screwed me up. And I don't have a way to get multiple actions this turn. So yeah, I think I'm kind of hosed here. Because if I use the influence, I'll only need 4, so I can keep Memory of Redemption there. But the problem is, by not being able to defeat the Goblin King, I am going to lose. The best I can do is use my influence now to delay it a turn, to defeat the Mystic, delay it a turn, but that leaves me with the problem that I'm still going to be 1 turn short defeating the Goblin King. So, yeah, I don't think this is going to work, but unless the play here is to defeat the Mystic and then hope I draw, what's the card I need? Because I used it earlier. Unless I hope to draw another, not Memory of Knowledge, that swaps. There's a card in my memory deck that would let me use an additional action. But I don't think that's going to help me here. So I think I will have to try to delay it. I'll use the influence to defeat the Mystic. Then I'll tilt Fight. I'll take another 2 spirit damage, which will bring me down to 1. If But I think with another threat coming out, yep, that Enforcer is just going to do it here. Well, there's the Memory of Knowledge, but unfortunately we didn't get the card that was going to let me use an additional action this turn, and that's what I really needed here. So no matter how I do it, either one of these threats is lethal. So we're just going to call it a video there, because there's no way I can defeat both of them and still survive. So I would end up losing one of my ribbons if I was going to continue this as a campaign. But that'll do it for this playthrough of Veilwraith. Now, I did enjoy this game, but I just didn't feel the narrative really come through in this one the way I did when I played Creel Manor last week, where I felt like there was a lot more of a story in that one. Well, I was going to say story, then there is more of a story to it, but on the same token, I don't think there's as much of a story in this one as there was in Creel Manor. There's really a lot you have to fill in the blanks on with Creel Manor to make that work. So, and another thing that bothers me is this game is actually one that's going to require share 5 ribbons for the campaign. I remember there was one. Yeah, okay, so there's a note in here. So there is a note that to play Veilwraith with more than one player, each player must have their own copy of the game. So this is definitely not one that would come out socially. This is one you need multiple copies, but you can only go up, I think you can only go up to 4 players with it. To play Veilwraith, so actually I think, so it only goes up to 4, but everybody needs to have their own copy of the game. So this is not a very good social game, especially since this copy was hard to find. So just bear that in mind as you're looking at game options. But I'm rambling at this point, so let's wrap the video up. Saturday, Mystical Munchies will start out of Titanic, the official cookbook, as we make the appetizer, fried calamari with pepper and tomato sauce. Sunday, we've got another All or Nothing Productions debut, as we're playing Shadows of Kilfirth. Wednesday next week, we're playing Pandemic, Fall of Rome. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.